Sleepy Hollow episode 11, The Vessel. After the mid-season finale, I was really excited for Sleepy Hollow to come back. It's probably my favorite new show. I think it's really the only new show that I've actually gotten into watching. But this was a really good episode. We had a lot with Orlando Jones, who I finally remember his name is Captain Irving. It was really focused on his struggle and them dealing with his daughter, and I was really glad. I was hoping to see that after the episode where the demon basically confronts him, because once he really got involved, he had to in some way really get in contact with the demons, or go up against them in some way. And they did it in this episode where this demon basically has been going through possessing people left and right to finally get close to his daughter. And it threatens him with getting the Bible from Ichabod and Abby. And it was great to see that Abby's sister was in this episode, and they kind of tied it in because she was possessed. So they kind of bring her in to deal with the demon too. So it also helps her deal with her past and how she used to feel about her sister. And it really gave a lot of interesting detail where we get to find out that she actually committed all these crimes so that she could keep herself away from Abby. And it was really cool to hear that, because it showed, like, even though she had all this anger and stuff for her sister, in her mind she was still able to do enough to keep herself away from Abby. So it was really cool to get that sort of really loving aspect. And they literally hug it out in the end, because they see Irving and his family, and they're together, and then they realize we've gone through like this really crazy thing, we've helped a family survive. And they were able to really bond in this episode, and that was really cool. And it was partly kind of Ichabod, like when he told Abby when they were in the sort of the cargo hold, like she did all this and all that to keep you safe, she committed all these crimes, and now you're doing one to help her out just in case she was caught here and stuff like that. So it was really cool to see them really bond even more in this episode, which isn't something I was expecting at all. I just thought, oh, it's cool, her sister's in. I believe her name's Jenny, because that's why I just kept saying her sister. But it's cool we had her in, just because I like her character, and it's nice to have all the main characters in the episode. And I thought overall this was a really good episode. Morales was like, when he was taken over by the demon, one thing I thought was so crazy is when he couldn't get into the house because of the priest, and he's talking to other random cop who just got killed. The guy was talking to him about the salt and stuff, and he mentioned how it seems weird. He was like, well, why don't you move it? And he just like wipes it off. Like, like, who does that randomly? It's like, obviously they did that because that's what they believe, or whatever. And he's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna sweep that right off from under the door for no reason. Even if it wasn't like a demonic thing, it's not like they'd be like, wow, a really strong gust of wind came in and blew the salt away. It would be like, clearly someone just was like, I'm gonna be a douche and just sweep that right away, which I thought was just interesting. But I didn't like him in the beginning of the episode, because he was clearly like, he didn't believe Irving that this stuff happened to him, which does make sense. But I was just like, who is this guy? I don't like him automatically. So it was kind of like, oh well, he's dead now, I don't really give a crap. But I thought that was really interesting how he just was like, I am gonna just wipe this salt away because I don't care. And then, of course, he gets killed off because possessed Morales just like snaps his neck and tosses him over the thing, which I also thought was interesting. I really thought that would come into play as how Irving found out that the demon basically was in the house, but it kind of just, he died and that was it. Also, didn't expect the priest to die, who I also thought was Irving's actual father, because I thought they like specified that he wasn't just calling him father because he's a priest. But obviously I was just hearing things when I was watching that last episode. But overall, I love this episode. It is the episode before the season finale, which is next week. It's a 2-hour season finale, because I know I saw something that said like only 3 episodes left, but it's kind of only 2 because they're putting the last 2 together. So I'm really excited for next week's episode. I'm sure we'll get every single character. I saw John Cho, I can't think of his character's name, but I'm sure we got him, we'll get Katarina. We might get the one guy back, I can't even think of the character's name right now, but the guy who basically can conjure up old spirits. We might even get him in this, because it is a 2-hour long thing, and they may or may not actually be going to hell. So I'm really excited to see that. Of course, we'll get the Horsemen back, but comment below. Let me know what you guys saw this episode. Favorite parts, least favorite parts, and like I said, with the season finale coming up, what's your favorite episode? So far, or just some of your favorite moments. Because mine for sure is pretty much anything with Abby and her sister. I think it was the first episode when Jenny was actually allowed to go out. I believe they had a really good episode where they were they just had their back and forth a lot, and like Ichabod was kind of just like the third wheel in that entire episode, because they had their sibling rivalry, and he was kind of there trying to be the mediator, like, hey, we gotta calm down and fight demons. We don't have time to fight each other. But it was a really good episode because it was them just after figuring out, hey, we've both been connected, to this demon stuff, and Abby had finally realized, like, hey, it is real, and I'm not just gonna let my sister go to the wayside anymore. So it was a really cool episode. That's one of the ones that really stick out in my head. So let me know what you guys thought. Comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.